I have a confession. Every time I'm about to sit down to do creative work, something I genuinely love, I suddenly get hungry. My brain decides right at that exact moment that I need a snack. I need to get up, find something to eat, prepare it, maybe check my phone while I'm at it. And then by the time I get back, the moment has somehow shifted.
Say me. I'm possible. Whatever I wanna be.
I noticed this pattern and I had to laugh because it's not hunger, it's my brain, my very capable, very sneaky brain trying to keep me away from the things that would require the most from me. Because creative work, genius zone work, is not easy, even when it's something we love, especially when it's something we love. And our brain, which prefers easy, will find the most creative excuses in the world to avoid it. That pull toward the snack before the work, that's a discipline problem. And today we're going to name it, understand it, and learn how to choose the work anyway. The 12-week year defines discipline as the ability to act on commitment regardless of how we feel. Not when we feel ready, not when we feel motivated, regardless of feelings. That's the standard. And I know that sounds almost too simple, but it's everything. Because how we feel changes every day. Our circumstances change, our energy changes. The only constant is the commitment we made and the choice we make in the moment about whether to honor it. Today, we're going to learn what discipline looks like in practice. Not the perfect version, but the real, imperfect, sometimes you grab a snack version. And we will look at the five execution disciplines that, when they work together, make discipline feel less like punishment and more like power. The 12-week year describes five foundational disciplines that drive everything. And here's what I want to say before I list them. I didn't learn this from a book first. I learned them at the gym. When I started my fitness program, my coach laid out the entire structure for me. And looking back now, I can see exactly how all five disciplines showed up in that experience before I even read about them in a book. The first discipline is vision. I had a clear picture of what I wanted my health to look like, not vague, but specific. That vision is what made me lace up my shoes even when I didn't want to. The second is planning. My coach designed the plan. My job was to execute the specific activities laid out for me. I didn't have to figure out what to do, I had to do it. The third is process control. My coach gave me the structure, the tools, and the accountability to stay aligned with my commitment. The fourth is measurement. Every day I track my workouts, repetitions, weight, steps, water intake. Every week I reported my measurements and sent photos. That data told me the truth, not how I felt about the truth, the actual truth. And it gave me real information to adjust from. The fifth is time use. I had a non negotiable time block for my gym. I sat down with my family and asked for their support. That block was protected. And because it was protected, it happened. These five disciplines now run through every major project in my life, my podcast, my music, my role at the company, and they operate together. A vision without a plan is a pipe dream. A plan without process control produces inconsistent results. Execution without measurement leaves us guessing. And if we don't control our time controls us. And here is something worth naming. Discipline failures rarely look like laziness. They usually look like work. The clearest example I can give you happened recently. I was editing a video episode, running behind. Final Cut Pro was giving me trouble. I found the fix, but then I noticed a separate issue in a previous episode's project and I couldn't resist. I went right there to fix it. That problem that had nothing to do with the episode I needed to finish ended up delaying it. And the episode that was supposed to go up at 10 a.m. didn't go up until 2 p.m. And if you notice, I didn't drift off and take a nap. I kept working, but I was working on the wrong thing. That is what the book calls busy work, low value tasks that feel productive but don't move the needle. And we fall into it most often precisely when we are avoiding the harder, more important thing. There's another version many of us do, over engineering the tool, tweaking the Notion template instead of executing the plan, searching for a better app mid cycle, rebuilding the tracking system when the tracking system isn't the problem, the execution is. The tool becomes the focus instead of the work. And then there's the subtle one, what the book calls living in the future feeling, pushing forward toward the goal because we believe that when we finally get there, we will feel satisfied, relieved, and free, and missing the actual life happening right now, in this moment, in this work. The discipline failure isn't always the snack. Sometimes it's the detour that looks exactly like progress. Let's talk about what discipline looks like when we get it right, when we come back from this break. Discipline means showing up to the gym, to the studio, to the desk, and sometimes we need something to carry that commitment with us wherever we go. This episode is brought to you by my brand, Angela Bendeck. I want to tell you about the Say It Loud tote bag. Very strong material, very durable, and the print doesn't come off, even when washed. On the front, in bold red letters, say it out loud. I am possible. Because that is the discipline. Saying it out loud every single day until we believe deeply enough that nothing stops us from acting on it. Worldwide delivery is available and very affordable. Perfect for the gym, the beach, the studio, wherever the work takes us. Find the link in this episode description. Welcome back. We were naming the discipline mistakes that disguise themselves as productivity. Now let's talk about how to actually act on commitment, regardless of how we feel. Step 1. Separate time blocks by the type of work they contain. The 12-week year gives us a framework for this. Strategic blocks. 3 hours of uninterrupted time scheduled early in the week are exclusively for high payoff creative building work. The things that are in our genius zone, the things the brain will try to escape with a snack. These blocks are protected. No email, no phone, no rabbit holes. Buffer blocks. 30 to 60 minutes once or twice a day where the administrative work lives. Emails, calls, the small tasks contained in their own time, so they don't eat the creative work. This is what I'm building right now. I have 2 days a week set aside for creative and strategic work. And on those days, when the hunger hits right before I open the project, I acknowledge it, maybe grab something quickly, and then I sit down and start anyway. Because starting is the discipline, the rest usually follows. Step 2. Own our choices completely. The book calls this absolute ownership. It means stopping the habit of looking outside ourselves for the reasons things didn't happen. The schedule was impossible, the family didn't cooperate, the software failed. Whatever it is, we need to stop that. These are the real things, I know, and they are also not the whole story. The discipline is to look at what happened, Acknowledge our part in it, not with guilt, but with honesty, and ask, what will I do differently? That's feedback. That's what improvement is made of. And step three, find the greatness in the moment. The book says something that has stayed with me. Greatness is not achieved when we hit the goal. We become great the instant we choose to do the hard work today. The result is simply the confirmation of it. My morning walks, I do them even when I don't want to. Not because I am a disciplined person by nature, but because I have learned over time that the satisfaction of doing it is greater than the satisfaction of staying in bed. And in that small moment, in that one choice, I am practicing greatness. Not the headline version, the real version. That's what discipline gives us. Not a perfect life, not a perfect system, a practice of choosing moment by moment to act on what we said we wanted. Discipline is not about being hard on ourselves. It's about being honest with ourselves. It's the choice we make in the moment when our brain says snack and our commitment says work. We don't have to be perfect at all. We just have to keep choosing it. And every time we do, we become a little more of the person we are meant to be. For the challenge of this week, I want us to notice the moment right before we drift. The snack, the email, the tool tweak, whatever version of it shows up for us. Just notice it, name it, and then once, choose the work anyway. Just once this week, choose the work when the pull toward comfort shows up, and notice how it feels on the other side. I'd love to hear about your snack moment. Send me a DM at Angela Bendeck and tell me what your brain version of the snack is and what you chose instead. And if this episode resonated with you, please share it with one person who needs to hear this. Subscribe to my channel so you never miss an episode of Say I Am Possible, the podcast. Thank you for being here. And the next time the snack calls, let's sit down and do the work.
Say, 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 say.